Christ is risen. He is truly risen. Christos anesti. Alithos anesti. Al-Masihu kam. Hakkan kam. Greetings to all of you, my faithful priest and laity, from my office today. Luckily, I have an office separate from the house, so I don't have to be caged up in one place all day. And it's quiet, and I can do some more work of cleaning up. But I'm greeting you because of the resurrection. The resurrection. In 3 weeks, I will be celebrating my priestly ordination of 50 years later. And I must say that this great Lent and this Holy Week and this Pascha were like none other. None other. Really an amazing situation. Although we were forced to lock our churches, we were also forced to figure out how we could get more into your homes because of this coronavirus. And we still are celebrating our services as much as possible, certainly with empty churches. And we are doing it in our homes via the internet and Facebook and whatever methods we have on the computer. So I greet all of you and thank all of my clergy for trying to make this feast, and is just as important as any other year in our homes. Our patriarch, Joseph, says that we proclaim Christ is risen, but we have heavy hearts because we don't hear your voices repeat it so vibrantly and so joyfully and so loudly like we should be doing. I invite you all to read his very beautiful Paschal letter, about 3 pages, but phenomenal text, and being sent to you by our eparchy already, sent to your clergy. And I'm asking all the clergy to make sure that you do email this to all of your parishes. The Paschal canon that we sing right after the Hajj service or the procession of haste begins with, "Today is the day of resurrection. Let us be joyful." And yes, we can still be joyful amid the crisis because we believe and we know that the risen Christ has conquered sin and death by his passion and resurrection. Illnesses of all kind are consequences of the sin of Adam and Eve. But after the fall, a new plan was inaugurated. God taking flesh to be one of us, one of our human race, to share our life and to be like us, except in sin, but to have pain, to have joy, and to die like we would, so that we could live eternally. What great love that the Lord has given to us. Let me read a few words from the 9th ode of the Paschal canon. A very beautiful piece, I think. Every piece is, but this touches me more. How noble, how dear, how sweet is your divine voice, for you have made us a truthful promise, O Christ, to abide with us forever and ever. And we, the faithful, holding on to this promise as to an anchor of hope, we exalt in joy. Yes, to abide with us forever and ever. And we, the faithful, holding on to this promise as an anchor of hope. We are still not all able to receive the Lord in communion, the Eucharist, but our longing will be intensified, and we have a promise. Just as Christ conquered death, he will conquer the coronavirus. With Jesus, the forgiveness of sins, the healing of our bodies, the destruction of the devil and evil, and the raising of the dead are all one and the same act of salvation. I would also suggest to my brothers, the priests, to make a copy of this Paschal canon and make it available to all of your parishioners on the emails. And I ask you, each person and family in this large eparchy across the country, to pray this canon or chant it in any way you'd like each night of this bright week, and also for the 40 days that follow this resurrection feast, asking the Lord to be merciful to us. I end with the beautiful prophecy of Ezekiel. That's something else you should read this week. Chapter 37, verses 1 to 14. I will not read the whole thing to you. We heard this reading on Holy Friday night after the lamentation service, at the end of it, in front of the tomb of Christ, before the epistle and gospel. Read it at home. And you know that I am the Lord, when I open your graves and raise you from your graves, O my people. And I will put spirit within you, and you shall live. And the coronavirus will not conquer. Christ is risen. He is truly risen. Christos anesti, alithos anesti, Masih kam, hakkan kam.